All right, let's dive in. Today, we're talking about a book that's almost 100 years old, but somehow its financial secrets feel more important right now than ever. It's called The Richest Man in Babylon, and its promise is simple: a clear path to wealth. We're going to unpack exactly what that path looks like. I mean, it's a pretty wild question, isn't it? In a world that's all about complicated stock charts and crypto hype, this book says, hey, hold on. It suggests the real answers to our money problems have been hiding in plain sight for thousands of years, just wrapped up in some good old-fashioned stories. So let's kick things off with the book's core idea, taking ancient wisdom and applying it to our modern wallets. What makes this book so different is its whole approach. I mean, forget about complicated jargon and spreadsheets. It uses these really simple parables, short stories set way back in ancient Babylon, to teach the basic rules of money. And the reason it works so well is that these stories just stick in your brain in a way that a boring lecture never, ever could. Okay, now let's get to the heart of it all. The book basically boils down its entire philosophy into something it calls the 5 laws of gold. And here they are. I know, the language sounds a little old school, a bit Shakespearean, right? But don't let that fool you. These 5 ideas are literally the foundation of personal finance then and now. So let's break them down one by one. The first law is probably the most famous one of all. Start thy purse to fattening. Or, how we'd say it today, pay yourself first. And the key here is this: before you pay your rent, before you pay your bills, before you buy groceries, you take a piece of your income and you put it away for your future. It's a really simple move, but it completely changes your mindset. It forces you to prioritize your own wealth. Just look at that number, 10%. The book says you should save at least 10% of every single dollar you earn. You know, this one habit, if you do it consistently, is the foundation that everything else is built on. It sounds simple, but as we all know, it's not always easy to do. Okay, moving on to the second law, control thy expenses. This one is so powerful. The book argues that for most of us, the problem isn't that we don't earn enough money, it's that we don't have the discipline to live within our means. It's about being brutally honest with yourself about the difference between what you truly need and what you just kind of want. So let's say you're doing it. You're saving your 10%, you're keeping your spending in check. What's next? Well, this is where it gets really exciting. Law number 3 is to make thy gold multiply. See, saving money is just step 1. The real goal is to put that money to work so it starts making more money for you. I love this slide because it just perfectly connects the ancient world to today. Back in Babylon, making gold multiply might have meant lending money to a shield maker to earn some interest. Today, it means putting your money into stocks or funds and letting the power of compound growth become your personal wealth-building engine. The tools are different, but the principle? It's exactly the same. Law number 4 is a huge reality check. Guard thy treasures from loss. The book is full of these cautionary tales about people losing all their savings on get-rich-quick schemes. And the modern comparison here is just perfect. Trusting a brickmaker with your precious jewels is the ancient version of dumping your life savings into some random meme stock you heard about online without doing a lick of research. It's the same mistake, just with different technology. And that brings us to the 5th and final law, which is all about you. The more wisdom we possess, the more we may earn. It's saying that the single best investment you can ever make is in yourself. The more you improve your skills and your knowledge, the more you can earn. And the more you earn, the more you can save and invest. It creates this amazing, powerful upward spiral. So we have these 5 simple laws. But why has this book, out of the thousands of finance books out there, stuck around for almost 100 years as a classic? What's the secret sauce here? Well, its success really comes down to these 3 things. First, we're just wired for stories. Our brains remember the tale of Arcad, the richest man in Babylon, way better than we'd ever remember a pie chart. Second, the rules are universal. They work no matter what the stock market is doing. And third, it's just so simple and practical. There's no fluff, just lessons you can actually use. Okay, so with all that in mind, is this book really for everyone? Let's take a quick, balanced look. Look, on one hand, the strengths are obvious. The wisdom is truly timeless, it's amazing for beginners, and it's super motivational. But it's not perfect. That old-fashioned language can be a bit of a hurdle for some people, and you're not going to find specific advice on things like 401ks. It's much more about building the right mindset than it is about giving you a technical playbook.
So this book is absolutely for you if you're just starting out on your financial journey, if you've always had a hard time saving money, or if you just prefer learning through a good story instead of a dry textbook. It's all about laying that solid foundation that everything else can be built on top of.
All right, let's bring this all home. What's the one big thing you should take away from this ancient classic? It's really no surprise this book gets 5 stars just about everywhere you look. It's a must-read because it reminds us that building wealth isn't about some secret trick or getting lucky. It's about discipline, it's about wisdom, and it's about consistent habits, starting with that very first law of gold. And that leads us to the final and maybe the most important question. A question for you. The very first law is to pay yourself first. Save that 10%. So after hearing all this, what's the one single first step you're going to take to put that law into practice? Think about it. Thanks for tuning in.